Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, getting ready to go to bed tonight. This has been a beautiful day. I've had a chance to have all kinds of wonderful thoughts, and I've shared with you several of them. At least I've posted them in case you want to check it out sometime. Tonight, I was just thinking that today being such a beautiful day, and well, tomorrow we all can agree that it is not promised to us. What's here today will be gone perhaps tomorrow or not. But I'm not certain, so why take the chance? What I would mean is this. I want to share something with you. I've been known as uh, you know, uh, what they call them, a street preacher. Now, they call me that because I end up talking about things that I have read, talk about things that I believed, and I usually attached it to something called God. And that's basically because I grew up as a young kid going to church all the time, and you know how we've been trained here in the United States of America. And so the Bible and religion and God has just been a part of my life. I've heard the scripture. I never saw too many people practicing the Bible. I recognized a few, and they were martyred. But for the rest of the world, to me, it's just tradition. And I kind of put it aside. But having lived in Chicago, working at the Veterans Administration, I got exposed to so much poverty. Poverty. And from poverty comes crime and violence, naturally. And I didn't like it. I didn't want to take it. I made a decision I was not going to take it. That meant I was going to do something about it. I was going to take this word that I had heard about God, read about God, people talk about God, and I was going to use it. And I was going to cause it to be manifest in such a way that it would make a difference in our society because I figured others weren't doing it. And so I jumped out there, ladies and gentlemen, and as I did, I began to learn things. I began to learn that for those who say that they were led by the Spirit of God, they denounce God every time they open up the book for any other reason, just to read and maybe run across some stuff. That anybody that is connected with God, that is a spokesman and agent of God, this is what I learned. Trust the same spirit that the ones in the book supposedly were referencing. And that's a belief. I do it. I know what I'm talking about. But it's not about me knowing what I'm talking about to the degree that I can impose that on you, because that's the same thing as reading a book. No, you got to know for yourself. And so I wanted to know for myself. So I came out here and I was attacked the systems of the world. You know, I know they won't produce what they say God is about. And then I had to admit, ladies and gentlemen, having done so much time talking about God and advocating and then turning around like in the year 2020 and seeing so many other people that had been talking about God, saying and acting in such a way that it was so embarrassing. I mean, it's so embarrassing to see how people portray God. And so it makes me almost ashamed to go before innocent people and say something about God in light of all the stuff that's out there. How can they believe anything about God with this split voice? So I decided tonight, I would just be honest with you and tell you that for me, when I talk about God, I'm really reflecting on if I were God. Now, not really knowing everything about God. So I know there's so much I can't interject into this moment of conversation. But the little bit I do know about God, if I were God, I would create an earth, beautiful earth like this, with all of the abilities and all the, that the earth is. And I would make it perfect so that I could allow living things here, all kinds of living things. And living things that would require some type of action, some type of activity to maintain continuity as far as life is concerned. Basically, well, since we're talking about humans, for me, I would make sure that every human in America, every human on earth, if I were God, had available to them always food, clothing, shelter. Food, clothing, shelter. That gets you going. You got a roots. You got a foundation. And then I would make sure that it's possible that everybody could have education so they can grow and be in healthcare, to protect, to do what healthcare do, and to make sure that we never run out because the resources I have already given. I would make sure that everybody have a desire within themselves, an ambition to be something that they could choose as a career of their own choice that will give them their greatest joy. And every individual's choice is connected to the system of things that I've got planned to set up that would, just like your body works, digestive system, nervous system, all of these systems working together for the benefit of the body. Now, all of a sudden, we get all of these systems for food, clothing, shelter, education, all the infrastructure, and all of the various things that are essential, so that we say are essential for bringing us peace and pleasure and joy, that all be connected. And it could work in such a way that, this is me, if I'm God, that we could have peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life, and our dreams would be fulfilled. Essentially, that means that our needs, our wants, and our desires will be met. And we could call that like heaven on earth. This is of our God. Now, recognizing that in order for this to happen, outside of you just having no will of your own, but if I wanted to make it special so that you can exercise your own will, and the hope is to give you the opportunity to be able to grow into an understanding, a level of understanding about life that's beautiful. An understanding about life that's beautiful. And so that when you come into this understanding, then you would be able to maintain it. You won't be able to be tricked with something that will take you off of it. You would have understood the way the system works in such a way that it protects you, and that you play a major role in your own protection and the same protection of one another. But if for some strange reason something happened that was so negative that if it was not separated, it would cause all kinds of problems with the others. But I would understand, just as I say this, that the real thing won't be contaminated. Oil won't be oil. I don't care how much water is in. So, I don't know, maybe the heat will come and draw up the water. I don't know. But I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Eddie Marcus, I would love to see all you guys and ladies out there living in whatever your mansion is. I realize one man's mansion could be big as we have been trained to think a mansion is, or it could be a kitchenette. You don't have to worry about too much to clean, to give you all this free time. And it was basically, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying to you, even though I'm saying these things to you, I know you can't even comprehend that because you've been taught that this is socialism, and you've been taught that socialism is wrong when you don't even know what socialism is. And those who have lived under socialistic systems have come out of there talking about, I know socialism and I don't have anything to do with socialism. Well, look, people living in America know about capitalism. And they're fed up with it because it does to them the same thing that your socialism did to you, which means it had nothing to do with the system. It has to do with the mentality and the immorality of the people and that's only because the people don't know how to share. Well, I didn't want to get into that. But I would love to see you having all your dreams come true. Guys would like to have nice cars. And I realize that when everybody got cars, you're thinking, what is going to do? You won't be able to go in a place bumper to bumper. Yes, you will be able to go to a place bumper to bumper. But you know what that will cause you to do? What? Create new creations to keep you living, keep you alive. You don't have to be dying like I am right now. Oh, get old. I'll live a long time. You'll live a long time, but you are doing something. You are life. Your life is personified in you and your doing. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if I were God, that's what I would see. This is what I would advocate for. This is what I would want everybody in America and the world to get an opportunity to experience their dreams. Yes, I don't apologize for that. So if I don't wake up tomorrow, if I, for some strange reason, do a Michael Jackson, or some of these people who just go to bed and go to sleep and learn to wake back up in a hellhole like this again, well, so be it. But if I must wake up, I want this. This is what I am. This is my ambition. This is what I live day to day to do. And I know in order to do this, I cannot be out there talking about how much money I'm going to make. Those of you who got a lot of money and living a wonderful life, this, as God, it's not to take that away from you. The wonderful life includes you. Those who are living in dumpsters, the wonderful life includes you. Unless you want to stay in that dumpster, that's fine. Nobody want to take you out of a dumpster. If you want to live in a dumpster, we want to make sure that your needs, your wants, and your desires are met. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know what I'm talking to you about sounds foolish, but I guess that would make me a foolish God. But one thing you wouldn't have this hell that you're in today. I want to thank you. Goodbye.